The now famous ghost of Cardiff once again came out to haunt the Springboks as they suffered a narrow 2,422 defeat at the hands of Wales at the Principality Stadium yesterday. It was the third consecutive loss in the past 3 years the South Africans had slumped to at this venue. The writing had been on the wall long before this encounter began, as Coetzee's conservative team selections and game plan had come into question before Wales ripped into them in the opening 10 minutes of the match. Often under Coetzee, the two-time world champions have looked scared to play with ball in hand, apprehensive to back their own abilities and trying to play too much according to the script, and that has often been their undoing in very much the same way proceedings quickly unraveled yesterday. The Springboks were shaken to the core by the Welsh blitzkrieg, which was marshalled by their fly-half general Dan Biggar, who already found acres of space between backdoor Edwin Warwick-Gallant and Dries Coetzee. Those two kick passes, which were well fielded by Hallam Amos, opened up the sluice gates for the hosts as they scored 2 tries, the first to centre Scott Williams in the 5th minute before debutant and former Southern Kings centre Hadleigh Parkes crashed over 3 minutes later. Just as they were at the beginning of Coetzee's reign last year and the end-of-year tour as well, the Springboks were rattled and seemingly stuck at sea as their inept backline was again found wanting on defence, with both of the Welsh tries coming off first-phase ball. The South Africans' biggest strength has always been their ability to bully opposition at the set-piece, and that is how they went about their recovery, starting with an annihilation of the Welsh scrum before turning to the rolling maul. But the Springboks' biggest Achilles heel in the past 2 years has been them believing their own hype in the same manner that they refused to take the 3 points on offer during this game and overreached by trying to rumble their way over the try line. It was in playing too much rugby, especially in the wrong half of the field, that the Springboks were again found wanting, with Dries Coetzee's kick charge down for flank Taulupe fell it out together and passed to Parkes for his second try. Again, the thought of another embarrassing defeat seemed to spark the Boks into action, and in an unfamiliar and probably desperate attack, the visiting backs managed to get the ball through the hands before Jesse Creel punted the ball for Gallant to outstrip the Welsh defence and score. That was the glimmer of hope the Boks needed, and it was just reward for their forwards, who had toiled tirelessly in gaining an ascendancy in the scrums, lineouts, mauls and even at the breakdown. The Boks completed the comeback through 2 tries from Hander Pollard and Jesse Creel as they continued to apply pressure on a understrength Welsh side that had retreated into survival mode. But again the Boks failed to kick on and use their dominance to close out the game. It was in the visitors' inability to land the fatal blow that Wales found their voice, and in their desperation to claim a Southern Hemisphere scalp after coming short against the All Blacks and Wallabies in recent weeks, it was veteran back Lee Halfpenny who slotted over the winning penalty with 12 minutes left. The Springboks had enough time to steal what should have been an academic victory to close off their season on a high, but they became their own worst enemy by cheaply conceding possession and making elementary errors. And as Captain Ebenezer bathed helplessly from the sidelines after injuring his arm in the latter parts of the first half, it was with the same painful look that many Bok fans have worn on their faces as Coetzee went into self-destruct mode after being handed a stay of execution in the aftermath of last year's disaster. That ghost of Cardiff once again spooked the Springboks into defeat, and in the process all but confirmed that Alistair Coetzee is a dead man walking. At Vada, on Go Benny Sunday Tribune. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.